it says I'm live. Welcome to the 5-day. Today is day 2. So it's day 2. Today we're focusing on the physical part of the 5 pillars. Yesterday we focused on the spiritual. We talked about abundance. Today we're talking about the physical pillar, and what better way to talk about and go over the physical pillar of health than to do yoga. So I'm just gonna do a little intro for everybody. I thought we could really save like pranayama, which are breathing techniques for yoga, for like more of a guide into meditation for the mental days that we go over the mental pillar of health. So if you don't know what I'm talking about the 5 pillars of health. That's why we call this the 5-day. And you can say it's a challenge if you want, but every week, Monday through Friday, we go over the 5 pillars. So Mondays we're focusing on the spiritual. Tuesdays we focus on the physical part of our health and bringing balance, and then also Wednesdays we do the financial, and then Thursdays we do mental, and then Fridays social health. So you guys ready? Let's do some yoga. That was a long intro, but the more we get into this, the less intro, right? So tonight we are going to do a little bit of yoga. I'm gonna start with some basics. We're gonna go on our hands and our knees, and we always call this like the tabletop in yoga. And so your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders. Your knees are directly underneath your hips. A lot of times people take their legs too far back or bring them too far forward or a little wide. But remember, your hips they're not like wide, they're just right underneath you. When you press your hand into the floor, and this goes for when you do downward facing dog, or upward facing dog, or inversions, and you're doing handstands, you want to get this part of your palm into the ground, into the mat. And you can do a little bend in your fingers, that's fine, but you want to get that ball of the hand into the floor. And then, so we're going to stay here, and we're going to breathe by exhaling, lifting the spine up like a cat. Just stretch it out. This feels really good for the spine. And then you're going to inhale, and your belly's going to go to the floor, and you're going to lift the tail up and look up. Sometimes you'll hear this is cow, but you're going to go back and forth, cat. And then you're going to inhale and look up. Cow. It's also called Badalasana. You're probably like, blah. That's right. Badalasana. Sanskrit is the language they use for a lot of yoga. And we're going to tuck the toes under, and then we're going to lift the tail up. And this is called downward facing dog. So you should be able to go from your tabletop and lift straight up, heels down, pressing the ground, and your head relaxes towards the floor, in between the arms. And you're pushing away, remember, but you're feeling the energy in your legs, you're feeling the energy in your arms. You have the elbows kind of slightly have an energy toward each other, so they kind of like externally rotate just a little bit. So, and push the heels down. They don't have to touch the ground. And you should be able to go from tabletop right into downward facing dog. And this is Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then we're just going to walk our feet forward, and we're going to do a forward fold. Now, for the forward fold, if you're in a forward fold and your legs are long and you're touching your upper body to your lower body, that's wonderful, that's great. But if you're not, if you're really like, you got a lot of space there, bend the knees, because most likely you have really tight hamstrings. And so you want to bend the knees, loosen that up, and forward fold. And as you're doing all of this, you're going to breathe. You're going to breathe in through the nostrils and breathe out. Unless you're sick and you're, I can't breathe, Carol. Then you can open the mouth. I'll give you permission. And then we're slowly going to come up. You can walk your hands forward. If you need to, you can place your hands on your hips and come all the way up. Or you can place the palms together like your dear God, can I come up? And you're praying all the way. And you're actually going to reach your arms really high and bring your palms center right there at the sternum. So you actually look at, you're praying, and that's called prayer position, or Samasiti is another Sanskrit word for prayer. So, shoulders back and down. Straight up. Now from straight, 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 straight. Just long and tall. Lengthen, open up through your chest. Loti-da. And then we'll do a little bow. And that's what we're going to begin with. I know that was short, but I just wanted to introduce the start of some yoga to you. Eventually we'll have some 30-minute segments, which is going to be awesome. But right now we're going to start from the beginning and work our way for those of you that are just learning. I want you to get the basics and feel really good about it. So where we start, hands and knees, roll through the back, warm up that spine. Why do you want to warm up the spine? Because the spine is your nervous system, your spine and your brain. It's so important. It's so important because it has all of, it contributes to all those nerve endings, and you want to take care of that spine. You want to keep it healthy. So another thing you can do for the spine is keep your left hand down and have that shoulder right above the wrist and reach your right arm up. And you're doing a nice twist. And you're reaching up. And so the twist is in the upper part of the body, and you're keeping that lower trunk area, the lumbar section of your spine and your sacrum and everything. You're keeping that area, the pelvis, kind of safe. You're keeping it safe right there. And then you just switch to the other side. So the left wrist underneath your shoulder, reach up. Feels really good. You just kind of squeezing the muscles along that spine. All those erector spinae and the rhomboids, all that fun stuff back there. And you're gonna tuck the toes under, lift the tail up, like you gotta let one out, but you don't. And relax the head towards the floor. And then you can walk your feet forward, bend those knees so you can touch the upper body to the lower body. If you want, over time, maybe you'll eventually lengthen the legs and still be able to touch the legs. You won't be as tight in your hamstrings. One little trick here is I massage the back of my legs like this, and it feels really good, especially when you're really tight. And you can get a little booty action going on there too and go, hey, that feels so good. And then we'll release that. We'll come all the way up. And bring your hands into prayer. Good job. All right, you guys, have an amazing evening. Namaste. It just means peace out. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. We're going to talk about our financial pillar of health, and talking about that, I'm usually going to have guests for that one because this girl is clueless. I've just always worked really hard to make my money, that's all. So we're going to aim for a speaker for Wednesdays. But anyway, if I don't have one tomorrow, it'll probably be a 2-minute segment. And I'm going to just talk about a couple of books I've been reading about finances. All right, everybody have an amazing evening. Get some rest. Stretching can help you have an amazing rest time. And I'm trying to figure out how to end this. Bye, guys. And